ආයුබෝවන් සුබ උදෑසනක් වේවා. හීන හඹාගෙන යන්නට ඇති පහසුම සහ උපක්‍රමශීලීම මාර්ගය මොකක්ද කියන එක පිළිබඳව පුළුල් අදහසක් ගන්න අද අපිත් එක්ක එකතු වුණු අනාගත වෘත්තිකයන් හැම කෙනෙක්ම ආදරයෙන් සාදරයෙන් පිළිගන්නවා. අද කතාව මම පටන් ගත්තෙම හීන වලින්. ඒ වගේමයි ඔබෙත් මගේ ජීවිතය අපි හැම තැනකින්ම පටන් ගන්නේ අපේ කුළුඳුල් හීන වලින්. ඔව් හීන වලින් පටන් ගන්න එක හීන වලින් ආරම්භ කරන එක අතිශය සාධාරණයි. නමුත් හීන හිත දරාගෙන උපදින මිනිහෙක් කවදා හරි මේ යන්නේ තවත් හීන ගොන්නක් හිත දරාගෙනම නම් ඔහු පසුපස ජීවත් වෙනවා. හැබැයි කරගන්නට අපහසුත් වුණු හීන කන්දක් මත මියදුණු අසාර්ථක මිනිහෙක්. බොහෝ දුරට ඒ අසාර්ථකත්වයේ පසුපස තමන්ගේ ජීවිතයේ කශීරුකාව බඳු වෘත්තීයමය ජීවිතේ තමන්ට ළඟා කරගන්නට සැබෑ කරගන්නට අපහසුත් වුණු සාර්ථකත්වයක් සැලවිලා තිබෙන්න පුළුවන්. මෙන්න මේ වෘත්තීයමය අසාර්ථකත්වය කියන සංකල්පය මේ කාරණය සාකච්ඡාවට බඳුන් කරන්න ඔබ මම තරම් සුදුසුකම් ලබන අය තවත් නැති තරම්. ඇයි මම එහෙම කියන්නේ? විරකියාව කියන දේ දවසින් දවස උත්සන්න වෙන ලෝකයක ජීවත් වෙන අපිට දේශීය වශයෙන් උත් විරකියාව කියන දේ අනුපාතයක් විදිහට 4% දල වශයෙන් අඛණ්ඩව වාර්ෂිකව වාර්තා වන රටක ජීවත් වන අපිට වෘත්තීයමය අසාර්ථකත්වය කියන්නේ තව දුරටත් පෙනෙන නොපෙනෙන දුරක තියෙන අසම්භාවිතාවක් නෙවෙයි. අන්න ඒ ප්‍රායෝගික සම්භාවිතාවයේ මැනවින් හඳුනා ගනිමින් ඒ හිස්තන පුරවන්නට තමන්ගෙන් විය යුතු සමාජමය වගකීම නොපිරිහෙලා ඉටු කරන්නට ඉදිරියට ආපු ජීනියස් උසස් අධ්‍යාපන ආයතනය තමන්ගේ ආයතනයට අනුබද්ධ වගේම අනුබද්ධ නොවන සමාජයේ පොදුවේ ජීවත් වන අනාගත වෘත්තිකයන්ගේ වෘත්තීයමය සාර්ථකත්වයේ වෙනුවෙන් වෘත්තීයමය මාර්ගෝපදේශනය ලබා දෙන්නට අදට වසර 10ක් වැනි දීර්ඝ කාලයක් පුරාවට අඛණ්ඩව තමන්ගේ නිර්ලෝභී දායකත්වය ලබා දෙනවා. මම විශ්වාස කරන අන්දමට කුරුණෑගල දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ පමණක් නොවේ වයිම පළාතේම ප්‍රමුඛතම වෘත්තීයමය අධ්‍යාපන සහකරු බවට පත්වන්නට ජීනියස් උසස් අධ්‍යාපන ආයතනයට නිසංග හැකියාවක් ලැබෙන්නේ. ඒ විදිහට ඔබ ඉදිරියට පැමිණෙන්නට ආයතනයට නිසංග හැකියාවක් ලැබෙන්නේ අන්න ඒ නොපිරිහෙලා ඉටු කරන සමාජමය වගකීම නිසා වෙන්න තමයි. ඉතින් මේ සියලු කාර්යයන් පසුපස රැඳි නිහඬ මෙහෙකරු නිහඬ මෙහෙවරකරු අපිත් එක්ක අද එකතු වෙනවා. ඒ අන් කවුරුත් නෙවෙයි. ජීනියස් උසස් අධ්‍යාපන ආයතනයේ කළමනාකාර අධ්‍යක්ෂ සුරංජිත් රත්නායක මැතිතුමන්. ඉතින් ඔබතුමන්ට ගෞරවයෙන් ආරාධනා කරනවා එක්ව සිටින සැම ආමන්ත්‍රණය කරන්න.
අයිබෝන් හැමෝටම මම හිතනවා පහන්නේ මම කතා කරන එක ඇහෙනවා ඇති කියලා.
ඔව් ඇහෙනවා.
හරි බොහොම ස්තුතියි. ඉතින් අපි පැමිණ සිටින හැමෝටමත් අපේ YouTube live එක හරහා සම්බන්ධ වෙන හැමෝටත් අපි ආදරෙන් පිළිගන්නවා. ඉතින් දීර්ඝ සහ සම්පූර්ණ වශයෙන් හඳුන්වා දීමක් අපේ වැඩසටහන මෙහෙවන්නේ සිදු කළා. ඉතින් ඒකින්ද මේ වැඩසටහන සහ මේ දේවල් සම්බන්ධයෙන් මට ලොකු හඳුන්වා දීමක් අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. නමුත් පසුගිය වසර 10 පුරාම අපිට හැකි උපරිමයෙන් අපි වෘත්තීය මාර්ගෝපදේශන සහ දරුවන්ගේ අනාගතයේ අපේ අනාගත වෘත්තිකයන් තැනීමේ ලෝ ජය ගන්න ෆියුචර් ලීඩර්ස්ලා හැදීමේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකේ අපි කාලෙන් කාලට එක මට්ටමේ එක ටීම්ස් වලින් අපි වැඩ කළා. ඉතින් මේකෙදි අපිට හැමදාම වාසනාවකට අපිට හැමදාම මුල සිට අපේ කශේරිකාව වගේ ක්‍රියා කළේ CIMA ශ්‍රී ලංකා ආයතනයේ. ඉතින් අදත් CIMA ශ්‍රී ලංකා ආයතනයේ අපහා එක් වෙමින් මේ වෘත්තීය මාර්ගෝපදේශනය අද සිදු කරනවා. ඒට අමතරව AIESEC ශ්‍රී ලංකා ආයතනයේ ජපුර AIESEC අපිත් එක්ක දැන් අවුරුදු කිහිපයක පමණ සිට කටයුතු කරනවා. ඉතින් මට මතකයි ගිය අවුරුදු කිහිපයකට කලින් අපේ ළමයිටත් foreign trainings නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ internships වලට ඒගොල්ලෝ අවස්ථාව ලබා දුන්නා. ඉතින් එතකොට අපි ගත්තොත් වයම් පළාතේ දැනට අපි ගත්තොත් ජාතික සහ ජාත්‍යන්තර තලයේ වෘත්තීය මාර්ගෝපදේශනය සහ ඒ කියන කටයුතු සිද්ධ කරන්නේ අපේ ආයතනයේ තමයි. ඉතින් අද දිනේ මේ තියෙන අභියෝගات එක්ක අභියෝග ජය අරගෙන කොහොමද ඉදිරියට යන්නේ කියලා මේ අභියෝගات එක්ක සමහරු ලංකාවේ කොහොමද උඩ යන්නේ නැත්නම් අපි මෙහිම කොහොමද පැනගන්නේ එක එක කෙනා එක එක ආකාරයෙන් කොයි දේ බැලුවත් හැබැයි හැමෝම try කරන්නේ මොකද්ද ගණ්ඩුක උපරිමයේ ගන්න ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න අවසානයේ අපේ මේ කර්තව්‍යයේ සාර්ථකත්වයට ඕගලන්ගේ පුරදීමක් ඕගොල්ලෝ පැමිණීම තමයි අතිශයින්ම වැදගත් උනේ සහ වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් එහෙනම් පහන්නේ නැවතත් ඔබට බාර දෙනවා. බොහොම ස්තුතියි මට අවස්ථාව ලබා දීම පිළිබඳව. ඉතින් පහුගිය වසර කිහිපෙදී අපිට මේ කොවිඩ් තත්ත්වය සහ මේ තියෙන අභිවෘද්ධිත් එක්ක සමාන වැඩසටහන කරන්න බැරුව ගියා. නමුත් ෆිසිකල් ස්කූල් ගොඩක් ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම්ස් විස්තර කරනවා. නමුත් ඉදිරියේ නැවතත් මේ අවසරයේ සිදුතුරු වැඩ කටයුතු පටන් ගන්නවා. සහ ඔන්ලයින් ආකාරයෙන් මේ කටයුතු සිදු කරන්න අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන ඉදිරියටත්. ඉතින් හැමෝම අපිත් එක්ක රැඳී සිටින්න බොහොම ස්තුතියි. සුබ දවසක්.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි ඔබතුමන්ට. ලෝකයේ පැරණිතම සහ විශාලතම ගණකාධිකරණ ආයතනයේ බවට පත්වෙමින් CIMA ශ්‍රී ලංකා තමන්ගේ සමාජික සංඛ්‍යාව 1,15,000 ඉක්මවනවා. සුළුපටු කාරණයක් නොවේ. එදා පටන් අද දක්වාම ලංකාවෙත් දේශීය වශයෙන් ලංකාවට අවසි තරුණ ශ්‍රම බලකාය නිර්මාණය කිරීමෙහිලා CIMA ශ්‍රී ලංකා ආයතනය මහඟු මෙහෙවරක් ඉටු කරනවා. ඒ ලංකාවේ ඕනම ප්‍රදේශයක ජීවත් වන ඕනම අයෙකුට ඕනම සිහින හඹා යන්නෙකුට ජාත්‍යන්තර මට්ටමේ පිළිගත් වෘත්තිකයෙක් වෙන්නට ගෝලීය මට්ටමේ පිළිගත් වෘත්තීයමය සුදුසුකමක් තිළින කරමින් මේ සුළුපටු නොවන මහඟු කර්තව්‍යෙහිලා වූ ප්‍රධාන කොටස්කරුවෙක් අද අපිත් එක්ක එකතු වෙනවා. ඒ අන් කවුරුත් නෙවෙයි. ඔහු නමින් තරිඳු විජේවර්ධන ශ්‍රී ලංකාවෙත් ආසියා පැසිෆික් කලාපෙත් උසස් අධ්‍යාපනය පිළිබඳව අලෙවි විශේෂඥයෙක්. ඒ වගේම වසර ගණනාවක් පුරාවට අත්දැකීම්ලත් ප්‍රවීණ ව්‍යාපාර සංවර්ධන කළමනාකරුවෙක්. CIMA සමාජිකයෙක්. අදට වසර 11ක වැනි දීර්ඝ කාලයක පටන් CIMA ශ්‍රී ලංකා සමග අත්වල බැඳගෙන කටයුතු කරන එහි මැනේජර් ස්ටේක්හෝල්ඩර් එන්ගේජ්මන්ට් පාත්වේස් ඇන්ඩ් රිලේෂන්ෂිප්ස් ධූරයේ හොබවන තරිඳු විජේවර්ධන මෙතෙන් පටන් අවකාශය වෙන්වන්නේ ඔබ වෙනුවෙන් ඔබට පැමිණ සිටින සම වෙනුවෙන් ගෙන එන්නට තියෙන පණිවිඩය දිගහරින්නට.
අයිබෝවන් සීලුම දෙනාට සුබම සුබ උදෑසනක් කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. බොහොම ස්තුතියි පහන්නේ introduction එකට එතකම Mr. Suranjit Ratnayaka, thank you very much for having me here today. And for those who are joining the call on a Saturday morning, it's not always a pleasant way to start your weekend, having to wake up early in the morning. But my dear students, you're joining for a course that adds value, first of all, to you. And second of all, for your parents and who's a part of your entire journey. So my job today, essentially, I think in your invites that were shared a couple of weeks ago, or even a couple of days ago, would have said Ms. Zahara Ansari, the country head of CIMA Sri Lanka, would be joining and would run through her expertise as well. කියන්නේ අපේ CIMA ශ්‍රී ලංකා ආයතනයේ ප්‍රධාන විධායක නිලධාරීතුමිය සම්බන්ධ වීමේ ප්‍රවණතාවයක් තිබ්බා. බට් ඒ වුණාට බොහොම කනගාටුයි ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න ඕනේ එතුමිය මේ මොහොතේ අසනීප තත්ත්වයෙන් ඉන්න නිසා තමයි එතුමියට මේ මොහොතේ සම්බන්ධ වීමට නොහැකි වුණේ. So my job today is something that I always love to do. Now myself and the team from Genius School of professional studies goes way back. Suranjit Mahatmaya සහ මම සහ CIMA ශ්‍රී ලංකා ආයතනයේ මේ මොහොතේ සම්බන්ධ වෙලා ඉන්න මිස් කුමුදිනි එතක මිස් වරුණි දීර්ඝ කාලයක් තිස්සේ මේ ජීනියස් ස්කූල් එකත් එක්ක අපි වැඩ කරගෙන ඉන්නවා. හේතුව ඔවුන්ගේ තියෙන කැපවීම, ඔවුන්ගේ තියෙන හැකියාව පළවෙනිම දේ. මොකද ඉතාමත්ම හොඳ ඇදුරු මඩුල්ලක් මේ ආයතනයේ ඔබට ඉගැන්වීම් කටයුතු කරන ඒත් එක්කම මේ අවුරුදු 10 11 පුරාවටම මම හිතන්නේ ඔයාලගේම අයියලා කළා බොහොම දෙනෙක් මේ සීමා පාඨමාලාව එක්ක එක්සෑම්ස් කරලා මම හිතන්නේ හොඳ තැන්වල මේ මොහොතේ ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් මම දන්නවා සුරංජිත් මහත්මයා කොහොමද ඔබට එකතු වෙන්නේ සහ ඔබට උදව් කරන්නේ විශේෂයෙන් රැකියාව අවස්ථා සඳහා, ඉගෙනීම් අවස්ථා සඳහා. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා ඔබ මේ මොහොතේ දැනුවත්ව හෝ නොදැනුවත්ව මේ මොහොතේ අද දවසේ මේ සහභාගී වෙන වැඩසටහන තුලින් එයට තව රුකුලක් වීම තමයි මම හිතන්නේ සීමා ශ්‍රී ලංකා ආයතන විදිහට අපි අද බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. What I'll do is I'll be speaking in both Sinhalese and as well as English, and I'll feel free to ask questions from me. I think Pahanya touched it very clearly because I want all of you to ask questions. දුවේ පුතේ ඔබ වැදගත් වෙන්නේ මේ ඉදිරි විනාඩි 40 හෝ 45 තුල ඔබගේ හිතේ තියෙන අවශ්‍යතාවයන් ඔබගේ හිතේ තියෙන ඉදිරියට ඔබගේ දැක්ම සම්බන්ධව ඔබට තියෙන ගැටලු निराකරණය කර ගැනීමයි. මොකද මම මෙතන ඇවිල්ලා මේ විනාඩි 45ක් වගේ කාලයක් තුළ ඔබට කතා කරලා යෑම නෙවෙයි අද දවසේ තියෙන වැදගත්කම. මොකද මේ අපි කතා කරන්නේ ඔබට. ඒ කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අවශ්‍යතාවයක් තියෙන දරුවෙක් තමයි මේ කතා කරන්නේ. මොකද ඔබ යම්කිසි අවශ්‍යතාවයක් නිසා තමයි අද මේ මොහොතේ මේ වැඩසටහනට සහභාගී වෙලා ඉන්නේ. හරි? So what we want all of you to do is to place questions. It's fine. You could type it in Sinhalese. You can type it in English. That's fine. I'll pick them up and I'll address them one by one. And if you want to connect with me without having to address your name, that is completely all right. I won't be reading any of your names. I'll just read out the question and answer any of your queries. Okay. So before I start, let me quickly share my screen and take things forward from there. Give it a second. Right. Adapt and thrive. අනුගත වීම. දුවේ පුතේ අනුගත වීම කාරණාව මම හිතන්නේ අපිට අමුතුවෙන් මේ මොහොතේ සඳහන් කළ යුතු දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. We adapt in different scales as we speak. Now, I could give you enough and more examples, but there can be enough and more examples that can be relevant to you, which you have gone through, which you have identified, and which is unique to you, right? But as humans, we have been adapting to the social norms, the social environment over the last 65 million years. But let's see, as an individual, as someone who's aspiring to complete your studies in a professional scheme, how do you need to focus and look at what needs to be done? Okay. A classic example, you must have seen this, right? Sorry. Give me a second. I think it just came out. Give it a second. Hold on. Since you're working with technology, there are bound to be certain disruptions, which is completely all right. But we need to prepare for them, you see. Give me a quick second, guys.
තාක්ෂණික දෝෂයක් නිසා මදහක් අවහිරවුණු දේශනය නැවතත් ආරම්භ කරන තෙක් අපිත් සමග රැඳී සිටින්න.
Hi. Good morning once again. I'm really sorry. We are working with the technology, so there can be certain mishaps in terms of the content. So can someone confirm that you could hear me and see me clearly, so I could continue with the session? You can use the chat window to say yes.
Yes, we can hear you and see you.
Perfect. Thank you, Pahania. Can you enable me to share the screen, the admin team from Genius? Yeah, thank you very much. Again, I beg your pardon because of the mishap, but let me continue from here. All right. So we were talking about how we can adapt, how we can thrive because adapting to the current situation. And I was talking about the classic scenario of a coconut tree, but I don't think we need to touch upon that anymore. And we have seen how athletes, this is a snapshot from a Paralympic game, where they have adapted to pursue their passion and to take part in a track game in a world context, and a classic scenario of adapting. And this is in the current context of Sri Lanka, right? This was a queue to buy bicycles in Borella, right? Now, අපි දන්නා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔබ උසස් පෙළ කරද්දී හෝ ඔබ සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ කරද්දී හෝ ඊට ප්‍රථමයෙන් ඔබ අපි සියලු දෙනාම බයිසිකලයක් පැදලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අපි කවදාවත් පොලිමේ ඉඳලා බයිසිකල් අරගෙන නැහැ. අපි පොලිමේ ඉඳලා තෙල් ගහගෙන ගිහිල්ලා නැහැ. ඉතින් අපි ඒ වුණාට දැන් ඒ තත්ත්වයට ඒ විදිහට අපි හැඩ ගැහිමින් ඇඩැප්ට් වෙමින් තිබෙනවා. ඉතින් අපි ඇත්තටම දැකිය යුත්තේ දුවේ පුතේ මේ මොහොතේ අපි මේ හැඩ ගැහෙන අපි මේ ඇඩැප්ට් වෙන කාරණාවත් එක්ක සාමාන්‍ය ජීවිතයේ කරුණුත් එක්ක ඇඩැප්ට් වෙනවට අමතරව ඔබගේ වෘත්තීමය ජීවිතයට අවශ්‍ය කරන කරුණු කොහොමද එකතු කරගන්නේ කියන කාරණාව. Now, I'll be talking about CIMA for sure, but I'll also talk about some context in the current world that needs to be applied in your day-to-day learning so that you can focus and you can have that understanding as to what needs to be done in your current roles in terms of identifying your potential and work out on it. So let me start. let's take a quick look into you. Okay. Now, if I'm to ask you the question, what do you want from a learning experience? හරි මම දන්නවා මෙතන ඉන්නවා CIMA පාඨමාලා මේ මොහොතේ හදාරන දුව දරුවන් ඒත් එක්කම there are students who have no understanding of CIMA, so but let's forget about CIMA for a bit, but ask yourself, what do you want from a learning experience? Okay, ask yourself. Now, I have been talking to not only you but the students in the Asia Pacific region for quite some time now, but essentially when I do speak to them, they have been looking into these four core elements as to understand this should give me the aspirations in terms of my learning experience. So this has to be what needs to be covered in my learning experience. Number one, a learning solution that teaches me the skills that are highly recommended by the employees. අපි මේ කතා කරන දේ පුතේ professional qualifications ගැන. ඔබගේ වෘත්තීමය ජීවිතයට කුලක් කරන දේවල් ගැන. එහෙනම් වෘත්තීමය ජීවිතයට ඔබට අවශ්‍යතාවයන් සපුරා ගැනීමේදී පළවෙනිම කාරණා විදියට ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් දකින්නේ that teaches me skills, කුසලතා that are highly recommended by the employers. ආයතනයක තියෙන අපි තියෙන management එකෙන් ඔයාලට තියෙන skill එක recommended නැත්නම් I mean if it's not valid, there's no point of having a certain certification, a certain qualification. So you need to build on skills from qualifications that enable you to get on to those skills that are highly recommended by the employers. And number two, that offers you flexible learning. Right? Number three, that allows you to be agile in your career aspirations. I'll bring examples to support these elements. And number four, a certification that's recognized by the employers. So I'm not talking about CIMA at this point. Okay. Essentially, you all are adults now. මම හිතනවා බොහෝ දෙනෙක් මෙතන ඉන්න දුවල පුතාලා අවුරුදු 18ට වැඩි දුවල පුතාලා ඉන්නේ. එතකොට ඔබගේ අවශ්‍යතාවයන් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මැච් කරගන්න අවශ්‍යයි ඉදිරියේ අවුරුදු 2-3 ඇතුළත ඔබ ගන්න තීරණ වලට. ඉතින් ඒ තීරණ වලට ඔබ මේ එකතු කරගන්න කුසලතා එකතු වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් මම හිතන්නේ එතන යම්කිසි ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා. But not only you, my dear students, so these are the four elements of understanding any student at your age had when I have been talking to them. Now, the next thing is I've been asking them, so, okay, fine, you can look into these four elements, but how do you come across, how do you shortlist a learning solution when it comes to those four areas? In terms of offers you skills that are highly recommended by the employers, that offers you flexible learning and allows you to be agile in your career aspirations. You can work in different scales, in different arenas in your professional career. Okay. So when you do find a learning solution, what are the deciding factors? මේක පළවෙනිම කාරණා දුවේ පුතේ මම හිතන්නේ ඔබ දැන් මේ online learning platforms වලට ඔබ හුරු වෙලා තියෙන නිසා ඔබ දන්නවා මේ කාරණාව. අපි ඉස්සර මම හිතන්නේ මෙතන ඉන්න වැඩිහිටි පරම්පරාවේ කීප දෙනාම අපි they will confirm and verify. We used to sit in a classroom for more than 7 hours back in the day when we were doing our A-level studies. Right? And when we were doing our O-level studies, even in our university programs, in certain cases we had to sit down for a good 4 to 5 hours a day. Okay, but gone are the days that you have to do that anymore, because the learning is available every time and everywhere that you look at. It just, you need to find a component, or I would say a learning platform that offers you the elements where you could be flexible in your studies. So when you're doing that, time it takes precedence. කියන්නේ ඔබට ගත වෙන කාලය. ඊට අමතරව දුවේ පුතේ කුසලතා අපි කියන skills that are relevant. මේ මොහොතට අවශ්‍යතාවයට ගැළපෙන කුසලතා එකතු කරන පාඨමාලාව. ඊට අමතරව financial commitment එක බොහොම වැදගත් දෙයක්. මම හිතන්නේ ඒක ඔබගේ පාඨමාලාව වලට මේ මොහොතේ මුදල් යොමු කරන්නේ නැතත් ඔබගේ දෙමාපියන් හෝ ඔබ වෙනුවෙන් කවුරු හරි ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරලා තියෙනවා නම් financial commitment is a deciding factor at this point. And of course, convenience, study support and tuition delivery, which I believe the Genius team will take care of. Now, we'll take a look at how CIMA can support you from here. Now, I think Pahanne touched upon a quick introduction to CIMA, but I take a lot of pride in showing this out to students like you. Now, I've been talking to students in all four corners in Sri Lanka, my dear students. I've been traveling quite a lot, and I take a lot of pride in showing this slide. Now, when you take a look at the qualification, it has to have a global precedence. දැන් වචනේ පරිසමාප්ත අර්ථයෙන්ම ඔබ දකින්නේ සීමා පාඨමාලාවේ තියෙන වැදගත්කම මේ රටවල් 192ක් එක හා සමානව පිළිගන්න කාරණා. ඒකටත් වැඩි දූපතේ මම ගොඩක් කැමති සඳහන් කරන්න මෙන්න මේ ඔබ දකින organizations that employ our members, meaning in these 192 countries over 172,000 organizations have employed CIMA members. හරි. ඉතින් 1,70,000කට වැඩි ආයතන සංඛ්‍යාවක CIMA members ලා මේ මොහොතේ රැකියාවල් කරමින් පවතිනවා. මම උදාහරණ ගේන්නම් මේ වැඩසටහන ඉදිරියට යද්දී. සමාවෙන්න. ඉතින් ඔබට මම පුංචි එක්සර්සයිස් එකක් දැන් කරන්න දෙන්න. හරි. I want all of you to look into this very, very cautiously, and I want all of you to look into this and do this exercise with me. I want all of you to close your eyes for 9 seconds. Now listen to me before you close your eyes, okay? What I want you all to do is to close your eyes and visualize as to what you need to do in the next 5 years. Now, when you say visualizing, my dear students, that means ඔබ හිතන දේ නෙවෙයි. ඔබවම අපි කියන you need to picture yourself in somewhere at some position and picture yourself. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි සාමාන්‍ය S2 වහගත්තට පස්සේ සාමාන්‍ය හිතන දේවල් නෙමෙයි දුවේ පුතේ, visualize, because this is an important tool for all of you to look into, because the moment you visualize is the point that you would come up with answers to your problems. අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න ගැන විතරයි කතා කරන්නේ. අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපිට තියෙන ගැටලු හිත ඉන්නවා මිසක් ඒකට තියෙන answers අපි ගැන හිතනවා විතරයි. අපි හැබැයි ගැටලුව පව අපි visualize කරගන්නේ නැහැ. So what I want all of you to do, take 9 seconds, close your eyes and visualize what you want to do in the next 5 years, where you want to position yourself in the next 5 years. Because after that, what I want you to do is to always look into that, think of it, and connect yourself to what I'm delivering today. And then you can connect the dots and see for yourself where and what that needs to be done. Okay? All right. Shall we start now? Next 9 seconds. Close your eyes, visualize. Okay. All right. Now, the next thing that I want all of you to do is to put yourself in whatever the areas that I'm referring to. And you need to position yourself and see what can I get out of the slides that you see here. මං කිව්වා දුවේ පුතේ මුලින්ම මේ මොහොතේ වැදගත් වෙන්නේ මම මෙතන කතා කරලා යෑම නෙවෙයි. ඔබ අද දවසේ මේ වැඩසටහනින් ලබා ගන්න දේ. ඒකට කරන්න පුළුවන් විශේෂම දේ තමයි මම අර කිව්වා වගේ ඔබ පොසිෂන් කරගත්ත තැනක් තියෙනවා ඉදිරි අවුරුදු 5 ඇතුළත. ඒකට අදාළව මේ කියන කාරණා ඔබ ඇතුළත් කරගන්නේ කොහොමද කියන දේ ඔබ මතක තබා ගන්න. අපි ඉදිරියට යමු. Now, hari. So you all have your different aspirations, you all have your objectives, you all need to look into certain elements in your life. ඔබ දකිනවා මම ඉතිරි අවුරුදු 4 හෝ 5 ඇතුළත මෙන්න මේ තලයේ මෙන්න මේ විදිහේ රැකියාවකට යොමු වෙනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් මම දකිනවා මම මෙන්න මේ තැනට මං ගිහින් ඉන්නවා. යන්න ඕනේ කියන එක නෙමෙයි දුවපුතේ මම මෙතන අදහස් කරන්නේ. ඔබ ඒ ගැන විෂුවලයිස් කරාට පස්සේ ඔබ ඒකට යන්න කරන පාර ඔබම හදා ගන්නවා. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපි නොකරන දේ නිසා අපිට අවශ්‍ය කියලා හිතේ ඉන්න දේවල් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඒවා අපි ඉටු කරගන්න උත්සාහ නොකරන්නේ අපි මේ විදිහේ ස්ටෙප්ස් අපි අනුගමනය නොකරන නිසා. මම මේ විෂුවලයිසේෂන් කියන ටෙක්නික් එක ඔබට කියලා දුන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ යමක් කිරීමේදී යමක් සාර්ථකව කිරීමේදී ඔබට අවශ්‍ය කරන පළවෙනිම දේ ඕක. ඊට පස්සේ තව ස්ටෙප්ස් ටිකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක මම අද කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් ඔබ හිතනවා නම් මේ මොහොතේ ඔබ රැකියාවක් කිරීමට කැමති ආයතනයක් තියෙනවා නම් විශේෂයෙන්ම ආයතන දැන් ඔබ දකින්න මේ ස්ක්‍රීන් එකේ තියෙනවා නම් it will be a good start for you to look into an understanding on management accounting. කියන්නේ කළමනාකරන ගණකාධිකරණය ගැන පාඨමාලාවක් හදාරීම මම හිතන්නේ ඔබ ඒ තබන පළවෙනි පියවර විය යුතුයි මේ වගේ ආයතනයක එක්ක ඒ තලයේ රැකියාව වලට යද්දී. මම ඇයි කියන දේ සඳහන් කරන්න. ඒත් එක්කම මම ඔබට මෙන්න මේ දේ කරන්න කියලා I would request all of you to do this. My dear students, I know most of you all have your TikTok accounts, right? I know you all do follow TikTok. Some of you all might be very creative in terms of creating your own content. But I would want all of you also to look at creating your own LinkedIn profiles. Okay, why I say that? Because LinkedIn profiles in the platform of LinkedIn, you would find a lot of information that would support your aspirations. මම අර කලින් කිව්ව කාරණා දැන් ඔබ හිතලා තියෙන ඔබ විෂුවලයිස් කරලා තියෙනවා ඒත් එක්කම ඔබ දකින්න පුළුවන් ගොඩාක් දෙනෙක් in a professional scale what would they do එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ ලෝකයේ අද තියෙන තත්ත්වය ගැන පැහැදිලි අවබෝධයක් ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන් වෘත්තීමය තලයේ ඒ වගේ platform එකක් එක්ක ඉන්නවා නම් ඔබට නැත්නම් LinkedIn account එකක් දුවේ පුතේ මම හිතන්නේ රැකියාවක් කරන්න නැතත් ඔබට පුළුවන් දැනට ස්ටුඩන්ට් කෙනෙක් විදිහට හරි LinkedIn profile එකක් create කරගෙන බලන්න ඔබ මොනවද මේ මොහොතේ වෘත්තීමය තලයේ දේවල් සිදු වෙන්නේ මේ ලෝකේ කියලා. ඉතින් ඔබට TikTok account එකක් තිබ්බත් මම මේ කියන කාරණා තුන පොඩ්ඩක් ඔලුවට දාගන්න. දාලා පුළුවන් නම් try to subscribe to those channels and follow them. I want all of you to subscribe to McKinsey Global Institute. Okay, what you see on screen is McKinsey Global Institute. Number 2, go and subscribe yourself to Forbes. So make a Facebook එකෙත් තියෙනවා, make a YouTube එකෙත් තියෙනවා, make a what do you call TikTok එකෙත් තියෙනවා, ඊට අමතරව make a LinkedIn එකෙත් තියෙනවා. හරි? McKinsey Global Institute number 1. Number 2, I want all of you to follow, there's a platform called Forbes magazine. Right? Number 3, I want all of you to follow World Economic Forum. Right? ඔබ හිතනවා මං හිතන්නේ ඔබගේ ඒ තලයේ කියාවලට හෝ ඒ තලයේ ඉගෙනීම් දැන් කරන දේවල් වලට මම මේ සීමාගෙන නෙමෙයි සඳහන් කරන දුවේ පුතේ මේ කියන කාරණා අද ලෝකයේ වෙන දේවල් ඔබ අවබෝධයේ සිටීමේ වැදගත්කමයි මම මෙතන පැහැදිලි කරලා දෙන්න උත්සාහ කරන්නේ. So McKinsey Global Institute, Forbes, and number 3 is World Economic Forum. I'll tell you why I'm telling you this. 2010 ඔබ මම හිතන්නේ ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් අහලා තියෙයි Bitcoin ගැන. ගොඩක් දෙනෙක් දන්නවා ඇති මම හිතන්නේ Bitcoin crashes ගොඩක් තිබ්බා. Cryptocurrency crashes over the last couple of months. හරි. ඒ වුණාට දුවේ පුතේ ඒම වෙලත් මේ කියන කාරණා හොඳට අවබෝධ කරගන්න. 2010 දී ඔබ ඩොලර් 10ක් ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කියනවා ඒ කාලේ ඩොලර් එකක් ලංකාවේ සල්ලි රුපියල් 100ක් 110ක් වගේ තමයි වුණේ. ඒ කියන්නේ රුපියල් 1100ක් 2010 දී ඔබ ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරා නම් 2022 වෙන විට අවුරුදු 12කට පස්සේ ඒ රුපියල් 1100 ඔබට ගන්න පුළුවන් with return on investment was around 275 million rupees. 200 කියන්නේ මිලියන 275ක් රුපියල් 1100ක් ඔබ 2010 දී ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරා. හරි 1100කින් දැන් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ඔබ හිතනවා. හරි ඉතින් ඒ දේවල් කරපු කට්ටිය ඇයි ඒ දේවල් වලට යොමු වුනේ කියන කාරණාව ඔබ දැනගත යුතුයි. අන්න එතනදී තමයි දුවේ පුතේ මේ ලෝකයේ සිදුවෙන දේවල්, මේ ලෝකයේ සිදුවෙන වෙනස්කම්, මේ ලෝකයේ සිදුවෙන අවශ්‍යතාවයන් වලට අපි අනුගත වීමේ අවශ්‍යතාවයන් ඔබ එකතු කරගන්න. ඒකයි මම ඔබට කිව්වේ මේ platforms තුන subscribe කරන්න කියලා. McKinsey Global Institute, Forbes, and number 3 World Economic Forum. Now, McKinsey Global Institute published a report back in February 2021, and they said by 2030, in the 8 focus countries that you see on screen, over 100 million workers may need to switch occupations. Now, that's an interesting story. Why do they need to switch occupations? United States, United Kingdom, of course, these are the countries that has the most population in the world, right? But still, Sri Lankan population is only 22 million, and we are looking at 100 million people just in these 8 countries. Imagine what will happen to over 192 countries in the world, right? Why do we need to switch occupations? Remember the very first slide that I showed you. Things are changing, and if you're not capable of being agile in your career aspirations, meaning you should be able to move from certain spheres to other spheres, and you have to have the skills and the knowledge to do so. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. මේවා කියවන්න දුවේ පුතේ. එතකොට ඔබ මේ කියන කාරණා එකතු කරගන්නේ 2030 කියන්නේ තව අවුරුදු 8යි. හරි? අපි දන්නවා තියෙන තත්වයට මේ අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට පස්සට ගිහලා එක එක්කෙනාට ඇඟිල්ල දික් කරගෙන ඉන්නවා. ඒ වුණාට අපි උනත් හරි අවබෝධයක් හිටියේ නැහැ. අපි උනත් හරියට මේ ගැන හිතන්න පෙළඹුණේ නැහැ මේ පහුගිය කාලය ඇතුළත. ඉතින් ඔබ තරුණ පුතෙක් විදිහට ඔබ ඒ කාරණාවට දැම්ම යොමු වෙනවා නම් ඔබ ඔබගේ ජීවිතයට එකතු කරන වටිනාම දේ එය විය හැකි. So I would say you need to open your eyes for things that's happening in the world, follow the things that are happening in the world, and absorb what is relevant to you. Okay, this is a single example, but when you do subscribe to those 3 platforms, you will find enough and more examples that needs to be identified and run through. Now, I was talking about Forbes, my dear students. So when I talk about Forbes, what I want to also highlight is this. Now, Forbes, they have said the top 10 skills of the future. Now, you might ask, okay, why CIMA? Why should someone from CIMA come and talk to you all? Okay. Now, when you do look into the top 10 skills of the future, CIMA, what we have done is we have looked at it and we have developed the content from the top 10 skills into the CIMA curriculum. Now, what you see on screen, technology skills, embracing change, leadership skills, judgment and decision making, analytical thinking, active learning with a growth mindset, all are developed within the curriculum itself. Why? Because these are the needs and demands of the current world. Gone are the days that we can focus on same things again and again. අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාට දුවේ පුතේ මම හිතන්නේ මේ කියන කාරණා ඔබ හිතලා බලන්න. අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාට අපිට කලින් පරම්පරාවේ දේවල් ගොඩක් වෙලාට එකම විදියට එකම දේවල් කර ඉඳලා අපි වෙනස් විදිහේ අපි outcomes බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. If you do the same thing the same way, you would not be getting a different outcome at all. So what you need to do here, my dear students, is to try out different things to see if the outcome is different. Now, in doing so, what we have done is we have seen, okay, fine. Gone are the days we can only focus on the traditional ways of delivery, traditional ways of thinking, traditional ways of approaching problems, okay? Traditional skills that everyone was like, okay, fine, these are the skills I should have. ඒ ඔක්කොමත් එක්ක දුවේ පුතේ මේ කියන කාරණාවල් ඔබගේ ව්‍යාපාරයකට ඒ කියන්නේ ඔබගේ ව්‍යාපාරයක් කරනවා නම් එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔබ යම්කිසි තව අවුරුද්දකින් ඉඳහින් රැකියා ආයතනයකට යනවා නම් හරි මේ කියන ස්කිල්ස් එක තමයි ඔබ යන්න ඕනේ. ටෙක්නොලොජි ස්කිල්ස්, embracing change, හරි ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට වෙනස් වලට කැමති නැහැනේ. හරි ඒක මම උදාහරණයක් දෙන්න. ඔබ ඇඳේ නිදා ගන්න පැත්ත දවසකට අනිත් පැත්තේ නිදාගෙන ඔබ ඇඳේ දකුණු පැත්තේ නිදා ගන්නවා නම් ඔබ ඇඳේ වම් අත පැත්තේ නිදාගෙන එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔබ පුරුදුලා තියෙන ඇඳෙන් දකුණු පැත්තෙන් උදේට බහින්න ඔබ උත්සාහ කරන ඇඳේ වම් අත පැත්තෙන් බහින්න අමාරුයි. හරි. But what needs to be done is you need to embrace change. When you go and work in companies, if you don't embrace change, you'll be left behind. Right? ඒ වගේ තමයි මේ කියන මයිකින් විග්‍රහ කරන්න යන්නේ නෑ දුවේ පුතේ. But what I need you to understand is these are skills that are needed and are directly developed within the CIMA professional qualification. Right? And then there's a question, okay, fine. CIMA stands for Chartered Institute of Management Accounting. එහෙම නැත්නම් කළමනාකරන ගණකාධිකරණය සම්බන්ධව ලෝකයේ තියෙන අංක එකේ පාඨමාලාව. ඒක අපි දන්නවා. Right? So what value a management accountant would bring to a business? Right? දැන් මෙතන ඇති සීමා පාඨමාලාව හදාරන දුවල පුතාලා වුණත් දැන් ඕගොල්ලෝ උනත් තාම සර්ටිෆිකට් ලෙවල් එකේ ඉන්නවා ඇත්තේ. ඕගොල්ලෝ හිතන නැති හරි මම මේ ඉගෙන ගන්න දේවල් ඇත්තටම මට මොනවටද වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. මොන තලයේ රැකියාවලද මට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. සාමාන්‍ය දුවේ පුතේ when you become a CIMA member the endorsement that you get are these. When you are a CIMA member they say fine you are a recognized business leader. You can be an innovation advisor because you know the world trends. And you could be a data-backed decision maker. And you can be forecasters, meaning you would identify problems in advance and cater to the requirement. Okay, and these are things that are essential for any profession, be it finance, be it engineering, be it medicine, right? These are essentials that needs to be applied in your day-to-day life as well. Now, I'd like to quickly run through the slide deck here in introducing the people here. Of course, this slide needs to be updated. Ms. Melanie Kanaka is currently the president of CIMA, and she is currently working at World Bank for Sri Lanka and Maldives. And of course, a very, very powerful and influential position. And we are very proud to recognize her as the president of CIMA because she's the number one in terms of members in the world. Iramatara Kasturi Chelaraja, who's the Group CEO of HEMAS Holdings, Supunveera Singh, Group Chief Executive of Dialog Gasiata, Suren Fernando, CEO of MS Holdings. Hari, the Lankawe වැදගත්ම ඉහළම තලයේ අපි හිතන foreign exchange එක්ක වැඩ කරන ආයතනවල ඉහළම තලයේ රැකියා ඉහළ තලයේ මේ ආයතනවල ඉන්නේ CIMA members. ඊට අමතරව මම ඔබට මේ පෙන්වන්න උත්සාහ කරේ corporate partners ලා 2022 අවුරුද්දට CIMA ශ්‍රී ලංකා ආයතනත් එක්ක එකතු වෙච්ච එක. මම ඔබට කලින් පෙන්නුවා the companies that we work with in a global scale, but here if you have aspirations in terms of working in these places, in these companies, we work with these companies to support them with their training, in terms of recognizing them for the support that they give to CIMA students. So if you have aspirations, maybe this could be the right opportunity for you. This is an interesting slide. The top employees in 2021. මම හිතන්නේ මේ අද දවසේ කියන කාරණාවට වැදගත් වෙනවා. ඔබ ඉදිරියට කරන දේවල්, ඔබගේ අපි කියන career aspirations වලට කොහොමද සීමා එකතු කරගන්නේ කියන කාරණාවත් එක්ක අපි කතා කරන්නේ. මේ බලන දුවේ පුතේ the top employees in 2021. We did not publish the 2022 list. See the companies that recruits the CIMA members in Sri Lanka. CIMA students කියන category එක වෙනයි දුවේ පුතේ. මම කතා කරන දේ දෙක වෙනස. CIMA members ලා recruit කරන ආයතන මම මේ පෙන්නන්නේ. බලන්න අංක 1ට තියෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? MS Holdings ආයතනය. ඔබ දන්නා MS Holdings කියන්නේ. බලන්න අංක 2ට තියෙන්නේ Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Then the list goes on. John Keells, DFCZ, Haley's, and the list goes on. You can see the number of banks listed out here. How many people would work in banks? Some, the FMCGs that you see here, the audit firms, right? The shared services, right? You could see the diversity of companies that are listed here, only in Sri Lanka. Of course, you saw in the previous slide, the tech companies, the biggest food chains in the world that are represented and are working. Okay. Now, I'm not going to work through these two slides in terms of identifying people. You obviously know who are out there, but I'd like to walk you through this. මම ගත්තේ මේ මොහොතේ ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයන් විදිහට අපි සහ ඔබ විශේෂයෙන් දුවල පුතාලා මේ මොහොතේ යන්න කැමති රටවල් මම ලිස්ට් කරගත්තා. ඔස්ට්‍රේලියාව, කැනඩාව, මාලදිවයින, නවසීලන්තය, කටාර්, සිංගප්පූර්, South Africa and United Arab Emirates. And also I have listed out these companies because there is a huge I would say a trend of CIMA members moving to these countries. And these are for employment opportunities. Forget about going there for studies because that itself is another scenario. But there are people who would move on to these countries for employment. Why? Now you could see over to your right? The GDP per capita in USD. You see? Now where we are at this point, I think this can go a little further down by end of this year. So what is your take on it? If you are to be looking at moving on and moving out to these countries, you need to have skills. You need to possess skills that are desired from certain professions. I'll talk about that in a moment. But these are things that you need to know, my dear students. You have to observe and take decisions accordingly. Let's walk through the next slide. Familiarly, I think Kurunagala also has a immigration office where you could get these now. I was in this queue a couple of weeks ago to get my passport renewed. And you should see what people talk in these queues. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට කියන මං අහන ඇයි ඔයා ඇවිල්ලා මේ queue එකේ ඉන්නේ නෑ මම අලුත් passport එකක් ගන්න ආවේ මං අහනවා හරි ඔයා යන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන රට මොකද්ද එහෙම දෙයක් නැහැ එන රටකට යනවා හරි කනගාටුයි පුතේ එහෙම ඒ වගේ තැනකට අපි රටපත් වෙලා තිබීම ගැන ඇයි මං එහෙම කියන්නේ if you have the right skills if your skills are in demand you don't have to be that. You can obviously choose your best case scenario. You can choose where you should go and work. You can choose the employment that you would deserve. You can select the salary that you would deserve. So always try to equip yourself with the right skills that are on demand in the countries that I listed earlier. Now let me run through this. The Sri Lankan members around the world. Now this is the second slide I take a lot of pride in showing out to students like you. These are Sri Lankans like you and I who has worked in the in companies and who have gotten experience and have completed CIMA studies. Obviously, we have over 4,000 members in Sri Lanka, and you would see how many of them are currently in Canada, 203, in UK and Europe countries, 730. Look at in Australia, 1,275, New Zealand, 90. And the list goes on. Okay. For a week, I think Ms. Kumudri and Ms. Varuni is joined on the call today. They can vouch for it. For a week, we come across over 4 applicants who are looking at moving outside of Sri Lanka. And we are helping them out with the documentations that they need. Those are all CIMA people. Huh? So again, I'd ask you at the very beginning, close your eyes for 9 seconds and identify or visualize yourself as to what you need to do. Now, if you do visualize yourself in working in one of these countries in another 5 years' time, perhaps this could be a decision that you could take. Now, what is management accounting? I'll also touch upon this because there are students who might not understand management accounting. කල්පනා කරන ගණකාධිකරණය ගැන සමහරට නොදන්න කීප දෙනෙක් ඉන්න පුළුවන්. මම සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක මෙතන කියලා දෙන්න නේ යන්නේ. මම කියලා දෙන්නම් in an essence what do we cover in management accounting. Of course, financial accounting is there. But addition to the financial accounting, problem solving, dynamic analysis, predicting, communicating problems and ideas, strategy planning, innovating, generating ideas are there. Now, what kind of decisions that management accountants can take? I told you we are data-backed decision makers, and we can forecast what needs to be done. එතන මේ තියෙන කාරණාවත් එක්ක දුවේ පුතේ ඔබ අපි කියන qualify වෙනවා ආයතනයකට හෝ ඔබම කරන ව්‍යාපාරයකට යම්කිසි අපි කියන විශේෂයෙන්ම අවශ්‍ය කරන අවශ්‍ය තැනදී අවශ්‍ය තීරණ ලබා ගැනීම හැකියාව ගන්න. අපි දකින අවශ්‍ය තැනදී අවශ්‍ය තීරණ නොගත්ත කාරණාවලදී ශ්‍රී ලංකාවපත් තියෙන ඉරණම මේ මොහොතේ. ඉතින් මේ වගේ කාරණාවත් එක්ක ගියා නම් මම හිතන්නේ විශේෂයෙන්ම ඔබට ඒ වගේ ගැටලු වලට මුහුණ දෙන්න සිදුවන්නේ නැහැ. I'll go through another. Now, I've been talking about skills. You would have heard the word skills at least about 20 times in the last, I would say, 20 minutes. Now, essentially, in the CIMA qualification, these are the skills that you would get. Technical skills, meaning how can you apply technical accounting and finance skills in different business situations. And when you hear the word accounting, you might figure, okay, fine, I might not be interested in working in a finance department. I'm not interested in going in the finance field itself. Fine. But you need to understand the finances as well, my dear student. You have to understand the business. So now, when it comes to business skills, we also teach you in terms of transforming data into insights and strategy. Okay? And people skills. Now, that's very important right now. How to communicate, influence, negotiate, and collaborate. Now, that's been touched in the curriculum itself. And then you have the leadership skills in terms of building and motivating teams, driving performance, right? And finally, we also cover digital skills. in terms of managing and guiding the finance function in a digital world. Okay. Now, I told you, we cater to the demand of the current context. Okay. There's no point of going here and there and, teach, specific skills, or rather, I would say, curriculum that needs to cover, but adds no value in a practical sense. What we touch is elements that are needed in your day-to-day environment. Now, what you see on screen is a CIMA syllabus. Now, I think you are very familiar with the certificate level 4 subjects, but for those who are connecting on the call today, certificate level has 4 subjects to cover. And then you have the next stage operation level. You have 4 exams to cover. You have the management level, 4 exams to cover. You have the strategic level, another 4 exams to cover. Now, I'll walk you through 4 things or 4 points in summary for you to identify the learning components of CIMA. Number 1, the delivery. Now, Mr. Suranjit Ratnayaka and the team from Genius School of Professional Studies has it covered. They have a fantastic tutor panel. They have a very structured delivery. They have the exam centers and support systems for you to go through your revisions, etc., etc. So you do not have to worry about the delivery. Number 2, the exams. Now, all our CIMA exams, my dear students, are done online, meaning you have the opportunity of completing CIMA studies online and can be taken at any given point of time. Right? And thirdly, what you need to look into is the exam dates. Now, since the delivery is done properly, or rather has been looked at in a more, I would say, like properly, what happens is they will teach for a period of time, essentially about 4 to 5 months, the entire level, and then you could take your exams. So the Genius team will be looking into supporting you with your exam delivery, exam take, etc., etc. And 4th is the certifications that you would get. Now, as you complete each level, I think I just mentioned that it takes about 4 to 5 months to cover each level, meaning essentially if you start from certificate level onwards, because if we have undergraduates from university programs, there are certain elements of which you need to be aware that you might not need to start from certificate level itself. You can start from operational level or even management level. It depends on the program that you are enrolled with, right? So certifications, upon completing each level, my dear students, you would get hold of a CIMA certificate. So here it says CIMA certificate in business accounting. Then you have diploma in management accounting. Then you have advanced diploma in management accounting. Now, all those 192 countries I was referring to, all these certificates are highly recognized. I'll show you where you can find examples in a moment as well. Okay, so certificates are available upon completing all these studies, and those are highly recommended and recognized as well. Okay, and finally, as a 5th point, I would touch upon the investment. Basically, you do not have to worry about having to pay for all exams in one go. You can pay as you go. Okay, so timeline, within about 2 years altogether, can complete the entire qualification. It's very flexible. And it's very interesting to follow, because there are CIMA students on the call as well, and you can vouch for this. And essentially, I know none of you all have touched upon case studies before, but when you do get your this thing to cover case studies, essentially operational case study, management case study, strategic case studies, you will love the qualification, because in everything that we cover, my dear students, the objective is essentially for you is to come out of the qualification and then apply the knowledge that you have gained in a real world scenario. Now, to prepare you for that, we have come up with these case study assessment methods. So you will love it, because you will find so much passion in terms of completing it that way. Now, if you need support in terms of flexible credit card payments, those are available in these banks, right? And this is a student who has done self-studies, by the way, and this was an extract from a LinkedIn account. You can search for him as well. This student has completed CIMA in 10 months. 10 months, right? All 16 exams within 10 months. I'm not expecting any of you to do that, but just to let you know, there are students who do it that way as well. I'm giving you an indication. Try to finish everything in a span of 2 years and complete. Now, from this point forward, I'll quickly switch my screen and I'll show you something that's quite interesting, to be frank. Hold on. If you have your laptops, if you can do this with me, you can try this out as well. What I want you all to do is this. Sorry, not this one. Give me a second. Okay, hold on for a second. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste the link here on the chat window so everyone can access it and type it out and see. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna anyway share the screen and show you as well. Okay, I suppose you can see this. අපි කලිනුත් කිව්ව දේ පුතේ අපි මේ හැමදේම කරන්නේ මම හිතන්නේ හොඳ වෘත්තීය ජීවිතයකට අඩිතාලම සකසා ගන්න. ඉතින් ඒ කරගෙන යද්දී විශේෂයෙන්ම මෙන්න මේ දේවල් ඔබ සැලකිය යුතු වෙනවා. ඉතින් මම මේක මේ dedicated slide එකක් web page එකක් Sri Lanka you can check this out on the link itself. This is where it says, are you an active job seeker? Okay, starting off with ඔබට රැකියාවක් කරන්න අවශ්‍යතාවය අපි හැමෝටම තියෙන දේ පුතේ. හරි. ඉතින් අපි ඔබ මම හිතන්නේ අවුරුදු ඔබ 10 වසර 11 වසරේ ඉඳද්දී ඉංග්‍රීසි පාඩම් වලට මම හිතන්නේ CV writing කියන දේවල් එම කරලා ඇති. ඒ වුණාට මේ මොහොතේ ඔබ ගන්න තීරණවලට I'll say it in this way. The opportunities that are out there, my dear students, requires you to be professional. Okay, that's the key. Now, in doing so, you need to be able to tackle the 3 things that you see on screen. Number 1, CV writing. Number 2, have a effective LinkedIn profile. Number 3, how can you prepare yourself with interviews? So I don't have time to go through all of this today. What I want you to do is to take a look at these 3 things and see for yourself where you are and adapt and change the way you approach in future. These are all available for you free of charge, by the way. Yeah? Nothing, so everything is listed out there. Try them out. And if you go through the page a little further, you will also find, once you master the above, create an account, because these are for CIMA students, by the way. Access but when you are a CIMA student, you will have an opportunity of uploading your CVs in the CIMA Career Hub. Now, එතෙන්ට ගියාට පස්සේ මේ ඔස්ට්‍රේලියාවල, නවසීලන්තේ, යුනයිටඩ් කින්ග්ඩම් වල මම කිව්ව සීමා කියන පාඨමාලා පුතේ ලෝකේ හැම රටකම පිළිගන්න පාඨමාලාව. හරි. ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ මම නිකන් ඔබට පෙන්නන්න මේ මොහොතේ තියෙන රැකියා අවස්ථා මොනවද කියලා. මම ඔස්ට්‍රේලියාවට කියලා පෙන්නන්න මේ මොහොතේ සීමා පාඨමාලාවල තියෙන රැකියා අවස්ථා කියලා. හරි. ඉතින් මේක ඔබ කරලා බලන්න. එතකොට ඔබම ඉස්සමේ තියෙන ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ මේ මොහොතේත් අපි මේ කතා කරන වෙලාවෙත් ඔය පුතේ රැකියා අවස්ථා 7ක් ලිස්ට් කරලා තියෙනවා. Okay. සමහරලාට මේ එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එක අවුරුදු 2 මේ බලන්න තියෙන දේවල්. හරි. MS ආයතනයේ executive assistant manager finance මේ බලන්න. There are enough and more opportunities like this. This is in Sri Lanka. අපි ඔස්ට්‍රේලියාව ගත්තොත් මේ මොහොතේ රැකියා අවස්ථා 1633ක් තියෙනවා. හරි. ඉතින් ඔබ ගිහිල්ලා බලන්න විශේෂයෙන්ම මේ කියන skilled migration category එකට කියලා බැලුවොත් එimhe ඔස්ට්‍රේලියාවල ඔබ දකින සාමාන්‍ය රැකියා කොට්ටාශ තියෙනවා ඒ skills වලට වැදගත් වෙන. ඉතින් accountants are highly recognized and is in that skills migration category. It was not there a couple of years ago, but after COVID, they have now brought it in. So again, if you have positioned yourself, if you do visualize yourself to be in one of those countries in a couple of years, perhaps this could be the right approach for you. I'm not going to go beyond this because I'm running out of time. I'll quickly end my session today because I would like to quickly run through some interesting areas for you to look into that adds a lot of things. So if you are to excel in your future opportunities, I'm going to run through 4 things right now. So you can take a look at it and identify what is needed. You have to have focus. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to let you watch this video. Give me a second.
The human brain cannot comprehend the negative. It is incapable. Yes, it's true. I'll give you an example.
I believe you.
Okay? No, I'll give you an example. You don't have to believe me. I'll prove it. Okay? The human brain cannot comprehend the negative. You ready? Don't think of an elephant. Yeah, I know. You can't tell the human brain not to do something, right? And so what happens is we very often reinforce things when we put things in the negative, right? I can't get apart. I can't get apart. I can't get apart, right? Or I can't do this versus I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this, right? And it's such a huge thing to convert things into the affirmative. You're supposed to do it with children as well. We're supposed to say, instead of saying to children, don't eat on the couch, we're supposed to say, eat at the table. Right? We tell people what we want them to do, not what we don't want to do. Pilots know this, right? It is well known in the pilot community that when you tell a pilot, don't hit the obstacle, they'll hit the obstacle. Because what they're doing is focusing on the obstacle. Skiers know this. If you ever seen skiers go through trees, do you know how they do that? It's very easy. It's actually surprisingly easy. If you go through trees on skis and you go, don't hit a tree, don't hit a tree, don't hit a tree, guess what you're watching? You're only looking at trees. All you're doing is seeing trees. You don't understand how anyone can ski with all these trees, right? As opposed to follow the snow, follow the path, follow the path. The only thing you see is the path. Skiers know this. If you say don't hit a tree, you'll hit a tree. You won't be able to find a path because all you see is millions of trees. If you say only follow the path, you actually don't see any trees. There's actually very sparse trees. There's plenty of path. There's plenty of snow. It's the same thing for you. If you focus on the obstacles, all you will see is obstacles. If you focus on the path through the trees, all you will see is path through the trees. It's your choice how you choose to perceive your own career. It's literally perspective.
And that was Mr. Simon Sinek. There are enough and more videos on YouTube of his for you to be inspired, my dear students. Focus is the key. Focus on the solution. Focus on the path to the solution. If you only focus on the problem, it's very difficult for you to get out of the problem. Okay? Focus is the key. Focus on the path of getting out of the issue. Don't only focus on the concern.
The human brain.
So I think I touched upon this technique. I know I'm not going to read through this. This is the other one that I want all of you all to do at the very beginning. Visualization. A very powerful tool, my dear students. Now, I think at the introduction, they said that I've been doing this for the last 11 years. Every time that I walk up on a stage, what I do is I visualize myself in front of an audience being applauded for activities that I do. That brings confidence in you to do what you need to do. And that is applicable in anything that you do, my dear students. It's very powerful. You go out there and you put yourself out there and you put your, the visualization hat and say, look, I'm going to be successful in this. Once you do that, you will find paths that support to it. Okay, so I'm not going to, show the video on this one because you know this technique already. I'll move into that. Third one, what I want all of you to do today is to invest in your passion. It's quite crucial. I'll show you this video and you could take a quick look into this and let's talk in a moment. This is Jay Shetty, another inspirational speaker. You can listen to.
I think one of the biggest challenges we hear about purpose today is that it starts with just something you're passionate about. And so people are like, find your passion, live your passion, do what you're passionate about, follow your heart. And while I think those are all nice phrases and quotes and ideas, one of the things that's missing is investing in your passion. So for me, purpose is across 4 things, and this is similar to the Ikigai model, and it's also similar to the Dharma model, but from Vedic and Chinese backgrounds. So the model expects you to find something you love, something you're good at, something the world needs, and something that you can be paid for. When you find the intersection of those 4, that's your purpose right there. Notice how 2 important facets are something you love, but also something you're good at. And I think that's often missed. Sometimes we're doing something we're passionate about,
but we're terrible at it.
We're terrible at it, right? Like, I like playing soccer football, and I love playing football, but I'm not Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not a world star athlete. And so that can't be my purpose because I'm okay. I'm average at football. So for me, it's if you are really passionate about something, if you do love something, if you're intrigued by something, you have to go and become the best at it. And not the best in terms of better than everyone else, but the best you can be. That's the first step. The second is you have to figure out how this connects with the world. So with my purpose, I could just be sitting there writing to myself, writing poetry or doing things, but you have to figure out how is this going to serve other people? How's this going to make an impact? Peter Diamandis said that we have to redefine the word billionaire to mean someone that impacts the lives of 1 billion people. And he was saying that when someone makes a difference in the life of 1 billion people, they're likely to become a millionaire or a billionaire off the back of it. So the importance of actually serving humanity and figuring out how your passion and what you're good at makes a difference.
Do you believe billionaires affect the lives of 1 billion people?
No, I believe that we should redefine the word billionaire to become someone who wants to impact the lives of 1 billion people.
So they should affect the lives of 1 billion
people.
Ideally,
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should. We should see that.
I imagined a lot of billionaires hearing you say that, like, absolutely.
No. I meant that should be a big part of our intention. I think there are 3 major resources in life: time, energy, and money. Mm-hmm. And the way you use all 3 of them defines the trajectory of your life.
I think that's something that you must have heard from many,
I think
many
one of the
people,
biggest challenges
my students, in terms of how you have identified, or other people have said, look, you follow your passion, you do what you're good at, right? But no one will tell you, how do you invest in your passion, right? So identifying what you're passionate about is one thing, and you can be passionate about something, but you might not be good at it. So it's not only one angle that you need to look at. There are 4 things that needs to be looked at. So run through Jay Shetty's video and you will find that, and then you can do things that way. And finally, the 4th one I'll leave with you is convert opportunities. Opportunities will come to you in various different means, my dear students. I mean, it could be certain things. අපි ගොඩක් වෙලා අපි කියන මට ලක් එකට වෙච්ච දේවල් කියලා ගොඩක් වෙලා ලක් එකටත් වැඩිය දුවේ පුතේ අපි මේ කියන කාරණාව එච්චර ඔබ ફોકස් කරන්නේ නැහැ. But you have to have that keen understanding to identify, maybe I should take a leap of faith in this. That's how you convert opportunities to your favor. All right? We'll take a look at this quick video and we can wrap it up after that.
I used to run more frequently, and I was a member of New York Roadrunners. And on weekends, they host races, fun. And very often there's a sponsor. At the end of the race, you can get a free apple or a free bagel or something. And I was running with a friend, and at the end of this particular race, there were free bagels. And so you can just imagine sort of cafeteria tables, folded tables with boxes of bagels. On one side was some volunteers handing out the bagels, and on the other side was a long line of runners waiting to get their bagel. I said to my friend, let's get a bagel, and he said, nah, man, I don't want to stand in line. And I said, but it's a free bagel. And he goes, yeah, I don't want to stand in line. I said, yeah, but it's a free bagel. And after a couple of rounds of backwards and forwards, it made me realize that there's 2 ways of seeing the world. One is you can see the thing you want, and the other way is you can see the thing that prevents you from getting the thing you want. I could only see the bagels, he could only see the line. And so I went between the line, I leaned in and sort of put my hand in between 2 people, put my hand in and grabbed 2 bagels, and that was fine. And the lesson learned is all of us can do anything that we want to get the thing that we want. What we cannot do is deny somebody else what they want. I didn't push anybody out the way. I didn't shove my way into line. Nobody got mad at me. But what I sacrificed was choice. I didn't get to choose whether I got a poppy bagel or a salt bagel or a sesame bagel. I got whatever I got, right? And so that's, I think, what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is seeing the thing you want rather than people who aren't entrepreneurs who can only see the thing that prevents them from getting the thing that they want. And you can do whatever you want to get the thing that you want as long as you do it honorably and you don't deny somebody else their choice of how they're going about it. That's very important. Are you?
So, interesting things to look into, right? How we perceive things, and sometimes how we do not see opportunities in opportunity, right? So have that openness in yourself as well, because life is the best teacher that you could ask for. This is something that I pulled out from, because I'm a very huge TikTok fan. I do subscribe to these interesting channels. And take a quick look at this. Won't take
the difference between school and life. In school, you're taught a lesson and then given a test. In life, you're given a test that teaches you a lesson.
So all your experiences will dial down to that. Okay. So don't deny experiences. So self-realization, take a look at yourself, where you are right now. This is an important thing to do. After you visualize what you need to do, think of you right now. Where am I? Number 2, what am I good at? Okay, what am I good at? Number 3, what needs to be improved? Number 4, what's my goal in the next 5 years? You have your visualization, right? And then focus on what needs to be done for you to get into that. Number 5, what restricts me from getting there? Quick understanding, and don't focus on it, but you have to have that understanding. අපි නේ ඇස් දෙක වහගෙන මට කිසිම දෙයක් මට බාධා වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියාගෙන ගමනක් යන්න අමාරුයි. But you have to have that understanding. What restricts me from getting there? Once you have that understanding, you know it's there, but you're not focusing on it anymore, right? And then remove it out there and think about what enables me to get there. Now, what Mr. Suranjit Ratnayaka and the team from Genius School of Professional Studies is doing today is also that. Is giving you an opportunity to learn and understand and go through a learning qualification that supports you to that passion. So these are things that you could look into. 9 habits for success. I'm not going to run through this, but these are things that you can look into. And then you should not be blaming people in life. This is an interesting video in the essence of time.
Never blame people.
I'm not going to run through that, but I'd like to quickly touch upon this. In 1922, this was the way that we used to take calls. In 2022, you have your Apple devices. But in 1922, we used to study in a way, but gone 100 years, we're still doing the same thing. Thanks to COVID, my dear students, things are quite different, at least in the Sri Lankan context, because we have seen how other countries have gone ahead and they have quickly adapted. But still to date, we are finding it difficult to adapt to live online learning. But that's the way forward. So you also need to look into that. You have to put yourself in it. You have to invest yourself in that and go through the journey. So I'm not going to go into this, but I'll just tell you one thing here. In our school days, my dear students, we were never given the understanding as to how to make money. අපිට මුදල් හම්බ කරන විදිය ගැන අපිට පාසල් කාලේ ඉගෙනීම් කරලා නැහැ ගොඩක් වෙලා. We were given a lot of tasks, a lot of assignments, a lot of exams to go through certain subject areas, but we were never taught to how to make money. In your young days, can I ask you all to look into these things? By the age of 20, look at options of investing. By the time you turn 30, try to build new income stream. Do not depend on just one income stream. By age 40, you clear off all your debts, because you will be able to clear them. You don't have to, invest in a house and spend pay the loan off for about good 25 years after that. And by 50, save enough to retire early. You have to live your life as well. Now, with that, I'm going to wrap it up and leave out for any questions. I'll quickly touch upon this. I think I showed you already in a live scenario how CIMA can support you in terms of clearing this out. And let me finish off with this slide. Now, if you go to eBay, I took this out a few weeks ago. I'm not sure if this seller is already there. You all must have heard of, we call that drop shipping, direct shipping, right? Affiliate marketing. There are enough and more norms out there in the country. Okay, there are enough and more videos that teaches you the skills on YouTube. But if I'm to ask you, having seen all of that, how many of you all have actually given it a go? Okay, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands, but maybe we have about 32, 34 people here on the call. How many of you all have given it a go? Okay, investing on your studies is money, my dear students. You have to pay and complete learning components. But this is something that you could do to support whoever who's investing on you. Can be your parents, whoever it is. But these are things that you can do. Then මේ උඩම තියෙන slide deck මේ seller බලන්න $7කට cinnamon sticks, pure cinnamon sticks විකුණනවා ග්‍රෑම් 50ක් $7කට. අපි දැන් 360ක් අපි 400ක් කියලා ගත්තොත් පුතේ 7ක් කියන්නේ 2800 ග්‍රෑම් 50ක්. හරි? ඉතින් එච්චර වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් එහෙමයි කියලා අපි ගෙදර බෝතලේ තියෙන කුරුඳු විකුණන්නවත් කඩේට ගිහලා තියෙන කුරුඳු අරගෙන ගිහලා බෑග් එකට දාලා විකුණන්නවත් මේකේ you have to learn how to do this. Okay, and it won't take long for you to learn. You have to look at how do you position your product, how do you package your product, you know, and how do you get hold of best quality materials, right? Cinnamon is just one example. There are enough and more things. You could see there are over 1,200,000 results for Sri Lanka. Okay, that's interesting for you to understand how many things would people sell, right? And then you have to
Recording in progress.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි. මීළඟට අපි යමු වෙන්නේ බොහොම විශේෂ කාර්යයක් වෙත. මම මෙහෙම පටන් ගන්නවා. ජාත්‍යන්තර වශයෙන් පිළිගත් වෘත්තීය සුදුසුකමක් ලබා ගන්න අතරතුරේම ජාත්‍යන්තර සේවා අත්දැකීමක් ලබා ගන්න තියෙනවා නම් අනාගත වෘත්තිකයෙක් විදිහට ඔබ හෝ මම හෝ වේවා ඒ පුද්ගලයා කොයිතරම් වාසනාවන්තද. ඉතින් මෙවැනි අවස්ථාවක් ගැන ඔබට විස්තර ඉදිරිපත් කරන්නයි අද ශ්‍රී ජයවර්ධනපුර විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ AIESEC සමාජයේ නියෝජිතින් දෙපළක් අප හා සම්බන්ධ වෙන්නේ නමින් කසුනි බණ්ඩාර සහ හංසිකා දෙවිඳුනි. අපි ඔබ දෙපළට ආරාධනා කරනවා මෙතෙන් පටන් අවකාශය වෙන්නේ ඔබට.
Hello, hi guys. Yeah, Hansika, are you there? Wait, let me check with Hansika.
I think she's facing a technical difficulty. I think it's better off if you carry on.
Sorry, I didn't get you, Tanushi.
She's facing a technical difficulty. I think it's better if you carry on.
Okay, give me a moment. Okay, I hope you guys are visible with my screen.
Yes, the screen is visible.
Okay, nice. Right. So, hello guys. Good morning again. So, I'm Kasani Bandara from AIESEC in University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. So, first of all, how many of you guys know about AIESEC? You could just raise your hand. Anyone? Okay, I guess it's not, right? So I'll tell you a little bit about AIESEC. So AIESEC is the world's largest youth-led organization. In AIESEC, what we do is that we develop the leadership potential of youth through volunteering experiences. So in AIESEC, we do have 3 products, which are Global Volunteer, Global Teacher, and Global Talent. So I'll tell you about Global Volunteer, and in the later on, Hansika will tell you about Global Teacher and Global Talent. Okay. Yeah. So what is Global Volunteering? It is a program which provides you with cross-cultural volunteering experience in different countries. We are providing these volunteering opportunities for the youth from age 18 to 30. And these volunteering projects are basically aligned with sustainable development goals, which are set up by United Nations, right? In these volunteering projects, we allow you to travel abroad for a duration of 6 to 8 weeks with provided and paid accommodations. Okay, so in addition to that, the benefits you can get through volunteering with us is that you could get out of your comfort zone and you could gain your skills and knowledge. You could experience the diverse culture while creating lasting bonds, as well as I mentioned earlier, you contribute to the sustainable development goals and help to make the world a better place. And on top of all, you could get an internationally recognized certificate as a global volunteer. So, as I mentioned earlier, the projects that we do have in AIESEC, which are basically aligned with sustainable development goals, and these are the most popular projects that currently we do have in AIESEC. So these are quality education, good health and well-being, decent work and economic growth, reduced inequalities, partnership for the goals, and climate action. Right. So these are the most preferred countries among our volunteers in AIESEC in University of Jawaharlal. So we do have Romania, India, Poland, Tunisia, Egypt, and Nepal. But other than these, if you do have any other preferred country that you would like to go on volunteering, please let us know, because we do have many more opportunities. Right. So I think, Tanushi, could you put the link for the sign up? Okay. So as you can see in the Zoom chat, so you could just simply sign up yourself through the link given in the chat, or else you could contact us directly. I have put my contact number in the Zoom chat as well. Right. So after you getting yourself signed up, we will be providing you with all the necessary information that we do contact you. After that, we will match the perfect opportunity for you according to your preferences. And after that, we will getting yourself registered for the certain volunteering projects. And throughout the process, we will ensure that you will get proper visa along with valid travel insurances. And once you went abroad for the volunteering, we will be supporting you through every step of your way until you get way back home safely. All right? Yes. Yeah, so these are the pictures of our previous exchange participants who went abroad for volunteering. So as you can see here, they have not only engaging in volunteering projects, but as well as they do travel. Okay, so you could just take a screenshot of this, or you could just contact me. That I have put my contact number in the Zoom. Yeah. So thank you very much. If you do have any questions, please raise, or else you could just simply contact me, or you could just simply sign up if you are interested in going abroad with volunteering with AIESEC. Yes, I hope Hansika is ready for you to take you through the global talent and global teacher.
Yes.
Okay, nice. I'll share the screen for you.
Very good morning to all of you. I'm Hansika, Customer Relations Team Leader for Outgoing Global Talent in University of Sri Jayawardenepura. So today I'm here to give you a great insight about foreign internships, which we provide through AIESEC in USJ. First, let's see what is AIESEC. It is the world's largest youth-led non-profitable organization, and this is a global platform for young people. So let's move on. Here the vision and mission in AIESEC. We are always there to fulfill your inner potential and improve your leadership qualities. So let's see what we do as AIESECers in USJ. We provide high quality experience, not only for exchange participants, but also for our membership as well. We escalate future career prospects to uplift leadership potential by adding many values, and at the same time, you will get great cross-cultural experiences as young generation. So here are some awards we won as a team so far. And there are mainly three options. You can develop yourself with AIESEC, Global Volunteer, Global Teacher, and Global Talent. So I'm going to explain about Global Teacher and Global Talent. So first I'm going to introduce Global Teaching Opportunities. The duration is 9 to 78 weeks, and you can teach under fields of English teaching, business teaching, IT teaching, science or mathematics teachings, and so on. So I'm not going to explain more about this since you are not that much related to teaching opportunities. So let's move on. So these are some benefits you can get through these teaching opportunities. So let's talk about global talent opportunities. The working duration is going from 6 to 78 weeks under short-term, mid-term, and long-term opportunities. There are mainly 6 fields, as you can see. Those are business administration, business development, IT, marketing, finance, and engineering. So let's see what are the benefits you can get through AIESEC. Affordable cost, and you will receive internationally and nationally recognized certificates. And also, it is really happy to say that most countries will provide food and accommodation free for you. And at the same time, you will get volunteer support from the beginning to the end from our side. That means we are here to guide you to find relevant opportunities and apply for them. And at the same time, we are always checking with foreign countries regarding interview process and all. You can access more than 25 countries to apply for foreign internships as well. And no need to worry about the process, since if you get selected, we keep in touch with you throughout your internship. And this special thing is we will provide visa support as well for you. And these are some other benefits you will get as global talent opportunities that I mentioned earlier. And yeah, let's move on. And as you can see, these are some opportunities we offer. Yeah. And one of the most special thing is AIESEC has introduced semi-remote opportunities as well. That means the first half of internship period will be completed in home country, and the remaining part will be continued in foreign country. An attractive salary with a wide array of qualitative benefits will also be offered for these internship opportunities as well. So next, here are some exchange participants who accomplished their internship dream through AIESEC in USA, and their great feedbacks. So yeah, I invite you all to empower yourself and others with AIESEC in USA and get unforgettable great experiences and accomplish your dreams. So sign up with us. If there is any clarification, or if you hope to sign up with us, you can ask or else drop a message to the numbers we have shared in chat line. We are there to support you with the proper guidance. So hope you got better insight about foreign internship. Thank you very much.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි ඔබ දෙපළටම. මීළඟට අපි අවස්ථාව යොමු කරනවා ජීනියස් උසස් අධ්‍යාපන ආයතනයේ අධ්‍යයන අංශයේ කළමනාකරු මනෝජ් අරුණතිලක මහතා වෙත.
Hi again, everyone. So everyone can see me and hear me. So I'm going to do the vote of thanks here. So actually, first of all, I need to thanks for Mr. Tarindu and the CIMA crew that has joined to our Brand New Future webinar session. So and also I need to kindly remind about the Sahar Ansari, the country manager of CIMA. So unfortunately, she did not join with us. And also Kumuduni and Varuni, thanks for the joining with the session from the CIMA side. And also I need to thanks for the University AIESEC in University of Jawadhanapura, Ansika, and the Kasun. Thank you for your session. It's valuable for us. And also, I need to thank for our moderator, Pahanya Uduveria. So you did a lot of job in here. So thank for the your contribution in here, and also the people who's joined here and give their time to for this session. Thanks for the CIMA student and all other participants has joined with us in this session. So yeah. And also I need to remind the backbone in here engineers, Matish and the crew, and also I need to give a big credit for the Suranjit Ratnayaka, who is the managing director in here in the Genius School of Professional Studies. So thank for your collaboration, thank for your contribution, sir, and also the team, Matish and the team from Genius. So thank for your support as well. So I think you get the valuable and interesting things from this session, which is organized by the Genius School of Professional Studies. You can join it. You can join and stay and communicate with us and as well. So we will provide the contact details as well. So thank you, Pan. That's for my okay.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි ඔබට. එහෙමනම් දැන් අපි ළඟා වෙලා ඉන්නේ අද දින Plan Your Future with CIMA Genius Presents වැඩසටහනෙහි අවසානයේ දක්වා අවසානයේදීම සඳහන් කළ යුතුයි මේ අපි ජීවත් වෙන්නේ අනාගතය අපහැදිලි අවිනිශ්චිත කාලයක, හීන බොද වෙන කාලයක. නමුත් මම විශ්වාස කරන පරිදි මේ තමයි අපි අනාගතය වැඩියෙන්ම ගොඩනගිය යුතු කාලය. මේ තමයි අපි අපේ හීන වැඩියෙන්ම විශ්වාස කළ යුතු කාලය. හීන වලට ආයෙත් පණ දිය යුතු කාලය. ඒ මතක් කිරීමත් සමගින් අපි ඔබෙන් සමුගන්නවා මේ Plan Your Future with Genius and CIMA. අයිබෝන්.